you are seeking a job at 40 plus. So here's the deal. You're over 40 and you need help getting that job because you have sent resume after resume, but nothing, nada, right? Not one interview, let alone a job offer, even one job offer. Today's show gives you exactly what not to do at 40 plus. Yes, what not to do at 40 plus when you're looking for your next job, but also what you can do to secure that interview and the job. I'm Barbara Brooks, your pro age solo ager host of The Second Act. I am a speaker and the person behind the company Second Act Women, which is a community of badass women over 40, 50, 60 plus. And like a good mixtape from the 80s, that's what you find here with The Second Act video podcast show that's live here every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube. And you can pick this up anywhere you get your podcasts. We are blending talks, tips, tools on entrepreneurship, career, and life after 40, 50, 60 plus with a little bit of pop culture splashed in. Because listen, I did watch the Vanderpump Rules reunion. Team Ariana, right? Anywho, that is who the Second Act show is and who I am. And today we are welcoming Chelle Johnson. She is a talent acquisition expert, and wait until you hear who she's worked for. And she has her own company to help you today. The company, Best You Talent Advisors. That's it. That is her company. And she has helped well over 1,700 people secure their jobs. She's joining the conversation to give you surefire tips and tricks. Again, things you shouldn't be doing after 40, 50, 60 plus to get that job. Because let's face it, age can be a barrier. Yes, sadly, even though the hiring manager's average age is 41, ageism can still be at play. 42% of hiring managers, sadly, age is a bias for them. So get your pen and paper out or your devices. You're going to want to take notes. And I bring onto the stage Chelle Johnson. Hi, Chelle Johnson.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hopefully you can see me, not just the wall behind me. Barbara is the badasser. We are so excited to bring you all these tips of what not to do. And thanks for having me today, Barb.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here. Chelle, as people like to call you sometimes because the way you spell it.
Or in Espanol, Araceli. Mi nombre de pila is Chelle, Anyway,
I love it.
Hello, everybody.
I'm jealous that I didn't continue on with my Spanish lessons. You are completely bilingual, and I love this. And you not only have Best You advisors, but you're a first generation college graduate achieving executive level success. You've had roles as a talent acquisition and HR manager at Fortune 50 companies. 50. Yay! Fortune 50. Holla.
Holla.
And she likes to dance. There's that I know about Chelle.
We're going to get some dancing in here
You like to bailar.
Bailar.
What I love is you've worked with Comcast, Lockheed Martin, Quest, Dynamics, and Honeywell as a talent acquisition in HR. So you know what you're doing. And also you've lived and worked in Asia, Latin America, acquired your MBA. So not only was a 4-year degree, first generation 4-year degree, you had to go further and get that MBA. You speak Spanish, as we just said, and now you help SMBs through fractional talent strategies, retained recruitment, all of that. You founded as of late, but you're about to transition this. But it's still going to be around Colorado Career Connectors in March of 2021, right? where you've helped over 1,700 job seekers. Tell us a little bit about how this came to be before we dive in to the do's and don'ts of how to get that job.
So in 2019, I was totally burnt out and kind of like a corporate refugee. I lost myself. I lost my soul. I didn't know my family life was going down the drain, my stress levels. I was traveling constantly. And I just knew that I had to do something different. So I happily took a very nice severance package from Comcast. And if anybody who used to work for me at Comcast is listening to this, I am so sorry. Meaning, I was not my best, so I wasn't the best leader. And I had to unravel all of that BS. You guys know what I'm talking about. The toxicity, the gaslighting, the stress, the being at dinner with mostly men who are not allies, and getting phone calls from my kids, and, just not having the understanding. And because I am a first generation, I didn't grow up knowing what it was like to be politically correct. I was PC, but I wasn't political. And I just decided in 2019 to start my own business. And I started doing executive coaching. And then we all know the pandemic hit. That was really painful for so many people. We could do a whole section on that. And then 2021, I started a meetup, and it was Colorado Career Connectors. We did 24 sessions free a year. And that was 2.5 years ago. And that number of 1,700 you have is not correct. It's actually 5,000 people now.
Woo!
I know. Unbelievable.
Well, you know what? You need to update that website and add then, and it's now over 5,000. I cut and pasted it. That is amazing.
Yeah, we will update that website, but actually that website's coming down. We're actually going to dovetail Colorado Career Connectors into my talent advisory firm, which is growing like crazy. And so now I have recruiters that work for me, and I am an executive coach to directors and above, and I love what I do.
And anybody who knows you, Chelle, knows that this is absolutely true. You do love what you do. You live, eat, and breathe it. And if you can help one human being, you will. It's just a part of your DNA and who you are. I've known you now for, I think it was either just after COVID or during COVID, probably during the Zoomies and all of that. Because you're a part of Second Act Women.
And I've seen you grow and change. And anyway, there's a sisterhood here.
I took your PQ course, which was wonderful. I have to sometimes remember to just do this, take a moment, close the eyes, right?
Right. She's talking about positive intelligence. So PQ is how to find mental fitness and the craziness of all of our negative thinking.
Yeah. And, which for women, the negative thinking could really sneak in when it comes to looking for a job, because as I said at the opening, we all have had friends that I believe you call it spraying and praying, who are just submitting resume after resume after resume, and you just can't. I've had friends who've submitted hundreds of resumes not to get maybe get 5 or so interviews, and then get ghosted or going in a new direction, or not even secure. Literally, not even after sending hundreds, secure even one interview. And so I love the conversation that we're going to have today and the tips. And I said to people, get their pens and papers out, because the negativity and the imposterism can really set in. Like, dang, what is going on? Am I not of value? Why is society and why is corporate America telling me I'm over with at 40, 45, 55, 65? That is far from the truth. Am I right, Chelle? We almost feel like there's this rejuvenation that comes especially when you hit your 50s and above. It's like, I'm ready for more, damn it.
Well, I love that you're ready for more because when I left corporate, I got my Zumba instructor certification. I started dancing. I started living and enjoying life more. Most of my
Yes.
clients are 45 and above, and they're like, I'm not living into these stereotypes, which I know you and I are going to talk about next week at this age of
Yes.
ageism and breaking through all of that with Janine. But
Yep.
there's so many things not to do. I'm going to have a hard time keeping it to 5.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you've got to go more than five, we've got 20, 25 minutes. So anything that you and I have the same DNA in that, well, not everybody has the same DNA, but what I'm saying is we like to help. So if there is more than five, let's go for it. And maybe what you'll do is counteract the don't with the do, and we'll pair it up that way if that's easier for you. So let's
Awesome.
right? So let's step into the things you should stop doing when looking for a job and getting the interview, and the things to do, especially for those of you that are in adolescence. So let's go with don't number one. And I'm going to take notes because this will be in the show notes for anybody that doesn't catch this. So go ahead. What is number one for you?
Stop using AI to write your resume. Do
Boom.
not copy a job description and just cut and paste and put it on as a resume. So your resume is part of the branding and part of the golden ticket to get you networking or interest interviews or connected to others. So stop relying on AI to put your story together. Now, Barbara, I know that you do some things around branding, and
Yes.
I know that you and I are going to talk about branding at the May 22nd event, which I'm sure Barbara can put in the chat. But
Yes.
know who you are, know your metrics. You have to
Know your
in,
metrics.
know your metrics. What have
Explain
you?
that.
Okay, so what data have you gotten? How have you improved processes? How have you improved customer satisfaction? How have you decreased workflows or made process improvements or saved the business or had the business avoid costs? Because you can, I saved the company X number of dollars, you can also switch that around and say, we avoided huge issues. We avoided supply chain issues. We improved efficiency. Um,
I love it.
know what you've done and have a measurable percentage or number. Numbers are good in resumes. If it's just a copy of a job description, as a recruiter and as an executive talent consultant, I'm going to pass you by in about 1 second. So the first one, do not use AI for your resume. There's so many people and resume writers and LinkedIn trainings that you can use. So that is my
Yes.
first don't, Barbara. What questions do you have around that?
So I think that's what it was. Is you sort of said it because your don't was don't use AI for resume because it's your brand, it's your golden ticket, as you said. But with that AI can't put in there in this resume are your metrics, as you said, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. What else would there be that AI is missing besides your metrics that people are relying on that shouldn't be relying on for resume writing?
You know, when you think about the resume, I just talked to a gentleman yesterday who was a managing director at a major bioscience, life science business. And he was talking about, I hyper focused on my resume and exactly what it said for 8 hours. So I recommend that you look at all of the free documents and free webinars that are out there. There's people that are in Second Act Women like Lisa Carmen or Kate Wade or Joyce Fustel that can help with this. Um,
Yes.
find someone who can help you, or if you're a great writer, do it yourself, but have other people look at it. Kind of have like a resume party or like a resume happy hour Have other
Oh.
people look at it and stop obsessing about the content. When it's done, have a master resume. Now, you do have to make the resume specific for each job that you apply to, but
Yeah.
you should have a database of bullet points and selected accomplishments that align with different, let's say that you're interested in project management. Here are my project management bullet points and selected accomplishments, or whatever the topic is, be able to cut and paste and quickly from your database
Yeah.
and put on your resume and spend maybe 20 minutes and then send.
I love that something you just said that we're going to talk offline about, because I think this is a great idea, is a resume happy hour. Is to get with your girlfriends, and I think you could even get with other people that are looking for jobs, and you switch, right? You go around and you look at each
Yes.
other's resumes, right? I
Yes, you
think
have a
that could be
resume happy hour. You
a
have a
great
resume
idea.
accountability partner.
A resume accountability partner. I love it. What would don't number two be?
Don't give away your power.
Oh, yes.
That is a big one, and we could talk for hours about that. As women, especially, we are pleasers, and we give away our energy to please others, and we lose who we are. We lose our confidence. We lose our voice. We lose our courage. So
Yeah.
if you are wanting to talk with someone and, well, they're not going to want to listen to me, or they're not going to want to meet with me, or I'm too old, or I have too many wrinkles, or I didn't dye my hair, I didn't get my nails done. Stop it, girl. Like,
Stop.
stop.
Yeah.
Stop giving away your power. Would a guy do that?
Oh,
No.
not at all. Not at all. It's instead they're flexing. You know, they're like, I'm good at that. Hell, most guys, as you know, because you're in the industry, we've been told we'll go for the, and I hope this isn't one of your don'ts, one of your do's, or one of your points, but the fact that most men will go for a job even if they only fit 50% of the job description, whereas we women will wait until we're over 90%. Then we'll go for it. Then we submit. And sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're giving away your own power in a sense, but correct me if I'm wrong. Do they fluff up some of the job descriptions? Because it's not as if they expect you to be superhuman and do, especially some of those job descriptions that are pages long, a page and a half, 2 pages. They're doing every vegetable in the soup, in the water.
Well, I think that we can just go into how biased some job descriptions are from a woman, against women,
Yeah.
or discriminatory in different ways. And we're not here to do a show about that. But if you're not
We'll do it
applying
again.
to
We'll
a
do another
role
one. Yeah.
and you really feel like you could do that position, apply, but then stop spraying and praying. Meaning, I'm going to send out 100 resumes and I'm just going to wait for them to contact me. Now, I know that this is job seeking 101, but people get comfortable in their basement or at the coffee shop and they're just click send, right? And this is not how you're going to find a position. So stop using your time and giving your power away
Yeah.
by letting other people control your job search. You have to take that back and have a job search log.
Ooh.
Organize your job search. You have to have momentum and movement. So what are you doing to get out and get rid of the stagnant energy around your stinking thinking? They're not going to want to, right? There's so many tips here, but the foundation of that is stop giving away your power, beating yourself up for something that you did not do, that you had a toxic boss, you were mansplained, you were marginalized or undervalued. That might be, but that's not who you are now. You have to leverage your network, stop
Yeah.
praying and praying. And we can dig into some of these things
Yeah.
because what you're seeing is my nonlinear thinking. And I'm just so excited about the topic, but I'm probably giving
I
way
know.
more than five.
It's no, it's great. That great things. What is don't number three for don't number three for job seeking over 40?
Okay, so we talked about spraying and praying. Don't be afraid to use your network and the network of your family and friends.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Sometimes people get so, especially introverts, get so comfortable just, well, I've reached out to that person, but they didn't get back to me.
Yes.
So use a multi channel approach to get in touch with people. I will tell you that recruiters are inundated with LinkedIn. So figure out the email address of the hiring manager or the recruiter. Call the company. Oh my gosh, do you remember this thing that we people actually pick up the phone and say hi?
Hi, can you talk
Hi.
to
Pick up the phone and make a phone call.
phone? Yes, old
And
school it.
once you are comfortable with a recruiter, ask for permission and what type of communication works best for them. Can I text you? Can I call you and find out what is going on in the process? What does
Love
the
it.
process look like? So, lots
Yeah.
of things with that. Stop just relying on your inner circle and expand your circle of friends.
And
So,
that's where LinkedIn can really come in too, is to see who's right, who's connected to who, to who, to who, to who, and then either ask your friend or your past coworker or someone who knows you to make that connection. But then don't leave it on them to actually
awesome.
write the introduction. Even you write the introduction that they can make
Yes,
their own,
I
right?
love that. Or if you're
Yeah.
asking for a referral on or a reference on LinkedIn, which I highly recommend, you can actually
Yeah.
say, here's when we worked together. While I was working with Barbara, I learned. After working with Barbara, I learned. And maybe
Yeah.
remind them of the project and the metrics and the outcomes. I can't even, I have a story. One of my clients is 58 and she's very high up in one of the state lotteries. And she came to me and she was like, I've got to get out of here. I just lost. So she went through positive intelligence with me and started feeling better, started taking her power back, knowing her value, knowing her brand, working with resume writers. And honestly, what happened is that she started feeling better about herself and she started getting better ENPS scores, meaning employee satisfaction scores. Her voice started to come back. And I'm telling you this story because now she just got promoted within the lottery of one of the states. And so she took her power back. The reason I brought that up is because as she was thinking about leaving, she started using her network and she reached out to people that she worked with 10 years prior. And she's like, I am going to happy hours. I am reaching out to people. I am loving life. I'm feeling younger. I may be 58, but I feel 38. That was the
Although
last
this is
appointment we had. She's like, I
yeah.
feel 38 again. And I'm like, that's right. Because
Yeah.
you took your energy back. You reached out to people that you maybe would have been, well, they don't want to remember me, or I didn't leave on the best terms. You know what?
Yeah.
Humans want to connect with humans, human to
That's right.
human. And
That's right.
by even having a little bit of courageous vulnerability and just showing that we're all going to have people that we do not want to get back in touch with, right? But the
Right.
majority of people, they want to know how they can help you.
Woo! That is such a good point. And that what I took from that story is that she started to own her own brand. She started to understand the value
Yes.
of her personal brand. and which voice comes with that. And she was owning her personal slash professional brand and said, "This is me. I'm loving it." And the next thing you know, she, as you're saying, she's showing up, owning who she is and loving it. The
I love how you
imposterism.
just summarized that, Barbara, with it, that she's knowing her brand and
Yeah.
getting her voice back, right?
Yeah.
It's about building that courage again to have a voice and to have clarity with who
Yeah.
you are. That's that personal brand. And I cannot wait to hear all of your tips and tricks and takeaways from that when we actually talk with
Yes.
Janine next week.
Yes, me too. And I will leave a link to this project that we're talking about, this event that we're talking about. But you're right, because what happens is, again, this goes back to age bias and the internal biases that we have for ourselves, the imposterism, the fact that people are saying that you can't be, do, or whatever, wear your hair this way, you can't go all gray, you'll look too old, you're this, like all the things that are put on us as women. It's great to see that this woman that you worked with started gaining clarity, as you said, in who she is, regardless of what society would, probably regardless of what society was telling her.
Exactly.
Because society is going to, yeah, anyway, regardless. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I love that. What is number 4? Number 4, when job seeking after 40 plus.
Don't do it alone. Do not do it alone. I remember when you had CareerCon, Barbara, and there was a sign-up sheet for the job club, and there were different people in different regions. So there's a book called Never Do It Alone or Never Search Alone. Lots of my clients use that. There are communities like Colorado Career Connectors or meetup groups or different people that you know. Do not do this alone, because let's face it, it's lonely, and the emotions aligned with it, they suck. So you've got to not do it alone. Get an accountability partner, someone that can go over your resume with you and give you constructive feedback, someone that you can practice interviews with. Stop not preparing for interviews is another one.
You want to make that another don't? Let's make that another don't. I love it. Yeah.
Yes, that's another don't. Don't go into an interview without researching and truly practicing how you interview, especially at the executive level. I was driving to an event last night, and one of my clients called me and was just livid. She's like, "I think I blew this interview." And she got feedback that she was not clear and concise at the executive level, which diminished her executive presence. So we can practice those things, but if you drone on and on in your interviews and you are not succinct and you're not listening to their pain points, writing them down, and then finding the solution to their pain points, it's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over with and expecting the different results. So I mixed some ideas there. So stop doing it alone. Stop not practicing and having an accountability partner with your resume and your interviewing. And stop thinking that you cannot take control of the interview and spin it to where you're really listening for what are the main pain points from the hiring leader, because then your job as the job seeker is to figure out how to solve those problems. And then in every correspondence, every thank you letter, every part, you're solving their problems. That is how you're going to be the candidate of choice. So that was a lot. Those were like 3 in 1.
That was a lot. But you know what? I love what you just said. I don't think that we recognize that when we are going after a job, no matter, regardless of age, that we are there to help them figure out how to solve their problem and do it once you get the job. I love that you just said that. And so whether or not you're in that interview, it's not as if they're going to spill out the entire problem or issue at hand, but there's going to be words that come up, or things that do come up that says, this is the problem. We want to hire
Yeah.
you to help us with.
Yes.
So
Tell
it's
me more
listening,
about
like you
that.
said.
Listening, active listening. And isn't that what we do as entrepreneurs or as
Yeah.
businesses? We listen
Yes.
to the customer to know what is going on. They are the customer.
I
The
just was
hiring
typing that.
manager is the
Yes.
customer. You're figuring out what's their Sunday night scaries, what's keeping them up on a Sunday night. And you're figuring out how to strategically be the problem solver, be the one that will come in and provide them ease so they can sleep on a Sunday night. Okay, Barb, I have one more. I think we're
Boy,
right at
this is
time.
good. Okay, this is number 6. Okay, go
It
for it.
is. Or this is like number 20. I don't even know.
I know. I love it. It's all good.
It's all good. So stop believing the stereotypes of you're too old.
Preach.
Preach!
Preach.
Stop believing, oh, I'm not technically savvy enough for that. Or I don't, it's all going to be young people and I can't apply for that job. Or, ageism can be reversed. Stop believing you're too young to be a powerhouse. Stop being you're too old to start a new company. Stop thinking that been there, done that. I don't have the energy to do something. I started my company at 48 and I am living my best life. And that is my hope for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you really are. And I love that you said this, because one of the things that we do tell ourselves, that again, corporate and society and HR managers and others do want to tell us, especially over 50, is that we don't have the tech skills, when in actuality we are digital migrants. And Google that term.
Yes.
It is a real thing.
Digital migrants. Exactly.
Digital migrants. And the idea is, we have to remember that we were raised on tech. It may not be recognized as the tech that is today, but remember the days in the 70s, literally 70s or early 80s, where we were sitting there in front of our TVs playing Pong on Nintendo, watching that slow ball going across the screen. Or having those Game Boys. I remember even 6th grade having a Game Boy playing football. I remember the 6th grade. Y'all, that was the 70s when we had those things. So we are tech enough and savvy enough to have the wherewithal that if we can't figure it out, we will, because we're Gen Xers and boomers. We got this. And so I think the tech one, it really does it's an outdated stereotype. And if that outdated stereotype lives within you about tech, you got to get past it. You got to learn the tech that you don't think you understand.
Exactly.
We're in a tech world, right? We've had AI has actually been around since Siri, since Alexa. That is machine learning.
Exactly.
That is AI that we have been used to and understand and get our weather reports from, or what's the next song that we should put on our playlist or book. We have been using that technology, AI, for years. So get used to it and stop putting that in your vocabulary that, I don't know how to do that. It's too tech. I'm not tech savvy. No, girl and guy and they. If you're not, you better become tech savvy in some of the areas that are needed.
Or ask for help. Ask for reverse mentors. Like, have those people in their 20s and 30s, like how my daughter's 16, show me how to do that. Like, get people in your network. Barb, this has been super fun, and I can't wait to see people next week. We have a record number of attendees coming next week.
Tell them what it is exactly.
You and Janine are going to bring it. I can't wait to do that with you. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. And
wait, Chelle, you got to say what it is. You got to say what the event is.
Next week on May 22nd, we are having Barbara and Janine Vanderberg talk about the age of ageism and how to break those stereotypes. And we were talking about the agenda the other day, and we are going to have the ABCs of what to do. We're going to have Barbara's going to talk about her brand, how to brand yourself in the right way, and cannot wait for the conversation.
Yeah, and then Janine's going to talk about her ABCs and not the ABCs from the song from our childhood. She's got her own easy as one. Okay, anyway,
that's the Jackson moment,
right? Hey, before we close out, first I want to say thank you for providing 6, not 5, 6,
probably
really more
20.
than that. This was really solid advice on how to land the interview at 40, 50, 60 plus. But I'd love to know, what are you either reading, listening to, or watching? One of those.
Okay. Bridgerton season 3 comes out today. I am dying to see it. And
I didn't know it was
I
today.
am listening and reading 10x is easier than 2x, which I highly recommend for all entrepreneurs and all job seekers who want to shed all of those beliefs. And it really goes into you being the entrepreneur of your life. And
what's it called?
It's called 10x is easier than 2x.
Ooh, I'm going to put that on my.
It is fantastic. It's by Dan Sullivan. And when I go walk and go hiking, I'm just listening to that podcast and I'm reading it. My next book is Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Oh, look at you. Okay, that's pretty deep. Okay,
it's pretty deep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Bridgerton, I'm down. I didn't know it was today.
Oh God.
But I thought it was over the weekend. Love that. Shelley, where can they find you?
You can find me at BESTUYOU Talent Advisors with an S.com, or you can email me at CHELLE@BestUTalentAdvisors.com. And you can find me next week, Barbara and Janine, at Colorado Career Connectors event.
I love it. Next up, coming up the rest of this month, we have Personal Branding by Me next Thursday at 9 a.m.
Do not miss that. That's going to be so good.
To up your influence to land business and grow your business. And then on May 30th, we're doing how to get on paid boards with Michelle Ashby of Ace Consulting, because guess what? Boards are looking for you as in women over a particular age. And now is the time that we get to get paid for our brain power on boards. So tune in every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. for juicy conversations, stories, tips, resources, and more, served with me, which is a little side of sass, every Thursday morning.
And I want
I want you to remember 40 is the new fabulous, 50 is the new fierce, and 60 plus is a force. I will see you here next Thursday morning at 9 a.m. and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I would love to see you here every week. Make it a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.